What sex advice do you
Meetup first started at Ricky Bobby's, I said I was going to be wearing the MAGA hoodie, and I did later on, but man, it was hot as hell, so I could not rock the hoodie at first. I had to wait for it to cool down just a little bit. Let me see here. I can't ever tell if my stream's having problems or if the chat's just trolling me. I never know. That's just welcome to my streams. I never know if the chat's trolling me. Let's see where we at. Nas, I got that one. I got that one. Nandy says, hail chat and mods. Coalesce says Leighton Kamala. Polly Meyer says, Jer Binks is late because Beardo is teaching him how to straighten bananas. Zinni Biscuit says, Trump will be an hour away from me on November 2nd in Salem, Virginia. I wish I could go, but I've never driven that far before and don't drive interstate. I totally understand that. Totally understand that. McManager says, just got back from Culver's. Let's freaking go. Let's see. I got that one. D-Day Mouse is caught a gifty. Let's go. I'm sure you guys saw this one. Dude, Trump is just absolutely hilarious. This is one of the greatest tweets he's ever made right here, by the way. Donald Trump tweets, when I'm president, the McDonald's ice cream machines will work great again. With the picture of Joe Biden wearing the MAGA hat, smiling. How can you not love this dude? Like, how can you not love this man? It's got almost 100 million views. Let's go. Yes, he did. He actually tweeted this. I saw so many people going, I had to double check and make sure that this was a real tweet. It's a real tweet. It's got 664,000 likes. All right, where are we at?
Stage, America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy, let's go.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam, staring at the faces in her ear.
I gotta mute that for just a minute.
Many people don't know, and Ronald Reagan said, we have to be there for.
I want to say real quick that I just saw a tweet from the quartering. They have AOC playing Madden with Tim Walz. Oh my goodness. This is the most desperate thing I have ever seen in my life. And she's got 13,000 more people watch Friday Night Tights than are watching this. Tim Walz playing Madden with the AOC is the definition of pure desperation. Holy shit. Oh my God. That is pathetic as hell. Jeez.
For Israel always, because they are always there for us. Hamas is not there for us. Iran is not there for us. They want to kill us. And the Palestinians are taught to kill us at 2 years old. They won't let a Palestinian in Jordan. They won't let a Palestinian in Egypt. And Harris wants to bring them to you. They may have good people. I'm sorry, I don't take a risk with people that are taught to kill Americans at 2. I'm on the side of Israel. You're on the side of Israel. Donald Trump's on the side of Israel. And they're on the side of the terrorists. Like me, President Trump grew up here.
What is happening right now?
Handed to him.
Look at that guest list. Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, Dana White, and many more special guests will speak at the NYC Trump rally tonight. Respect to Rudy. I do have to talk. I can't just play this audio, so I have to talk over it some. I can't just play it. It will get hit. There's like a lot of AI bots that are just hitting stuff. So just so you know, the right side stream is there if you want to watch it, or if you want to listen to me give my commentary over it, you can hang here. But I do have to occasionally mute it and talk over it. And when Trump gets out there and some of the other bigger speakers, I'll make sure to let them speak. But that's why I need to talk over people like Rudy that are going to put me to sleep, even though I respect Rudy. Okay? I respect Rudy.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage founder of Death Row Records, Michael Harry O'Harris.
I thought it was going to wait. What? I was waiting for Suge Knight to come out there. Wait, wait. Why are they playing that music? What is happening right now? Why are you playing Martina McBride if the founder, what?
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
What is happening right now?
Madison Square Garden. I got to thank God for allowing me to speak in front of you today. I got to tell you something else. God is great. Can I get a second? I got to tell you another secret, though. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, I wouldn't be standing here today. So I want to thank President Donald Trump for allowing me to stand in front of you here today. It's a bigger story. Gotta let you know about it. God spoke to his heart.
I might check it out, Mike.
And Donald Trump signed with his heart my release after 33 years. God spoke to his heart. So I don't have but a few minutes, so I want to say what I got to say. First thing I want to do is speak to this elephant in the room. Our nation has had a complex history with racism and sexism.
Oh, boy.
And we can all agree that we got to do a little work there. But that's not what we're here to talk about today.
Then why are you bringing it up?
What we're here to talk about is our similarities that unite us.
What is happening right now?
We want to talk about family security. It's important. We want to talk about economic development. It's essential. We want to talk about education for our children.
Bring Rudy back.
It matters. For example, Kamala Harris talks about an opportunity agenda for black men, but there is no opportunity unless you have the foundation that starts with.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. They introduced this guy as the founder of Death Row Records. Not really sure about that one. I was waiting for Suge Knight to come out. Dude, if Suge Knight, if like Suge Knight walked out there, which I know Suge Knight's in prison right now, but that I was waiting for that. When I heard that, I was like, Suge Knight? Are you kidding me? Let's go. But that clearly wasn't the case at all. JMNZZ450 says your McDonald's Kamala tweet made me puke then cuss on Twitter. So you can go look at that tweet if you want to, my Kamala McDonald's tweet, but I'm not going to be sharing that one on stream. So absolutely not. That was one I wanted to share that one on stream, but I was like, I don't think that I can do that because, it's a little edgy. Let's see. Broken over on Rumble says, I was wrong. Suge did a podcast from prison. Yeah, the Patrick Bet David podcast.
President Donald Trump has committed to working with Community First when he's back in office. And in case you didn't know, Community First is you, and people that look like me. So Community First endorses Donald J. Trump to be the 47th president of these United States of America. Opportunity and dignity for all.
Let's hope so. Stream it due to the Cardinals.
I'm gonna do it.
Yes, they were mad because
Please welcome to the stage.
it's number one. I could find this.
In New York, we refer to MSG as the Mecca. We refer to it as the center of entertainment. And in 9 days, it's going to be the launch point for the center of making Donald Trump the 47th president of the United States. I don't even want to talk about Kamala. Why? Why would we waste our time? She doesn't even want to talk about herself. She tells us she grew up in a middle-class family. But I don't care, because it's families today in New York, in Chicago, in Philadelphia, in Milwaukee, in Phoenix. They are struggling because of Kamala Harris, and they are saying the same thing we're saying. We had enough. We need Donald Trump back. She broke the border. She broke the border and doesn't even have the guts to tell you the truth. But that's okay, because the next president of the United States, he's going to fix the border, because he did it once and he's going to do it again. She unleashed the massive inflation that has made it harder for every working family in our country. If she was around when I was a kid, it would have devastated my mom, who still lives in Brooklyn. Hi, Mom. How you doing? And you think she has an answer for the people who are trying to find ways to get ahead? No, she doesn't. Nothing but word salad. I kind of like salad. Everybody should have some. It's healthy. It's good for you. But this word salad mess is demented. It is meant to make you think that she's smart and you're somehow dumb. The truth of the matter is, the common sense of the American people is what is needed today, and that will be brought by Donald J. Trump. Then you look around the world. Look around the world. She said she was the last person in the room after that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. You know, that withdrawal is seared into my mind. I remember watching Afghanis hold on to the sides of airplanes to escape the Taliban. And as I'm watching this, the one thing I know is that if Donald Trump was president, that never would have happened. Never would have happened. But I have a special message to everybody around the world, especially those who want to find themselves getting into the business of other people or messing with our greatest ally in Israel. Donald Trump is going to stand by Israel 100% of the way. 100% of the way. And Donald Trump is going to get us out of these wars, because he did it once and he's going to do it again. But the last thing we're gonna fix, and it's a big one. You see, I got 3 kids. They're all boys. And I'll be damned if you're gonna have some school tell my boys that they can now be girls. Not on my watch. Not on the watch of Donald Trump, I can promise you that. We're gonna have common sense in America again under Donald Trump. We're gonna get men out of women's sports under Donald Trump. America will take its place again as the shining city on the hill, as the leader of the world, as the #1 nation, as the great experiment, because he's gonna fix it once again. And together, New York and around America, we are gonna make America great again. God bless you, New York.
All right, so Byron Donalds with the John Cena music, you know, our greatest ally, but Byron Donalds. And now I guess we're starting to get to, we've got Tucker Carlson, we've got Dana White, Elon Musk. I think Tulsi Gabbard is going to be here tonight as well. We'll see. The John Cena music is weird. It's funny. It's just not expected. You know what I mean? By the way, so I don't know if this is real, but Tim Walz and AOC reacting to Kill Tony. This can't, I don't know if this is real or not.
Terrifying.
Absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And
I don't know if that's real or if that's a meme. I'll have to look into it, but I don't want to miss anybody else coming out. Can you guys hear? It's telling me that it's lost audio, so I'm gonna have to reshare my screen here. I hope I don't have an issue when if I reshare, if I disappear for a minute, I'll put the be right back screen up just in case I disappear for a minute, because it's telling me that there's an issue with screen sharing. So let's see what happens. Okay, now let's see. Can you hear now?
Hello, New York! I have a message for the mainstream media, and I can say this as a born and raised New Yorker. New York
Good.
is Trump country.
You know, she was rumored to be one of Trump's, like, on the short list for Trump's VP choices. I don't know much about her. I don't know if that was to kind of keep New York in play or what. Johnny says, yeah, don't force feed us this gay slop. McManager says, the point, name a Republican that supports Hamas. Doll Life Dan says, idiots vote for Kamala, but IDOTs vote for Trump. Man, you fixed it, Jeremy. Such a good boy. Thank you, guys. I think I deserve super chats for fixing the audio. It was very difficult, by the way. It was very difficult to fix the audio. Sakuri says, do the Rudy kiss finger wiggle, Jeremy. Cole Hauser says, remember Hasbro bought Death Row, then sold it. Gerald Armstrong says he met Death Row Records. Captain General Grand Potato says, this is to make up for losing money on Dan Bask Super Chat. 1 reel is 18 cents, so 50 cents is 50 reels is $8.76. How's your back alley night job going, Dan? Yeah, Dan, how's your back alley night job going? Maximus BT says, where are my breeds at? McCock says, Jeremy is like Bernie Sanders, no refunds. Glenn says, intro music will be New York, New York by Frank Sinatra. Fits the moment. Oh, that'd be interesting. Infinity Flare says, good God, who into it just in time for OG team has requested. Look at that. Elon dropping hot new MAGA merch right before our very eyes. Let's go. Dude, Elon is crushing it right now with the MAGA stuff, okay? Let's get back to this.
Always ends up being a disaster.
And I'm actually talking about Tim Walz this time, by the way. It goes both ways. So listen up, guys. Last year, I became the youngest person ever to run for U.S. president as a Republican. And thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll tell you something about my generation. We are lost. We are hungry to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Yet we can't even answer what it means to be an American today. We're in the middle of a national identity crisis. Faith in God, patriotism, hard work, family. These things have disappeared only to be replaced by wokeism and transgenderism, climatism, COVIDism, depression, anxiety, fentanyl, suicide. These are symptoms of a deeper void of purpose and meaning in our country. And right now, we need to step up and fill that void with our own vision. Answer, what does it mean to be an American in the year 2024? It means we believe in the ideals of 1776. It means we believe in merit, that the best person gets the job regardless of their skin color, that you get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That's why we're done with the woke DEI agenda, bringing in meritocracy to America. It means we believe in the rule of law, and I say this as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. That means your first act of entering this country cannot break the law, and that is why if we've had the largest influx of illegals into this country in American history, we will have the largest mass deportation in American history. That is not racist or xenophobic. That is what it means to stand for the rule of law in the United States of America. It means we believe in self-governance, that the people we elect to run the government, for God's sake, ought to be the ones who actually run the government, not unelected bureaucrats in the deep state that are running the show today. So you want another mass deportation? Let's get 3 million federal bureaucrats out of the DC bureaucracy. That's the mass deportation that saves the country. What does it mean to be American? It means we have elections we can trust and believe in, and that means single-day voting on Election Day as a national holiday with paper ballots and government-issued ID to match the voter file. That's how we save the country after we win it this time by voting early. These are not black ideas or white ideas. They are American ideals that set this country into motion. We're in a war to revive them, and right now we need the commander-in-chief who will lead us to victory. That is your next president, Donald J. Trump. If you want to seal the border, vote Trump. If you want to restore law and order in this country, vote Trump. If you want to grow the economy in this country, vote Trump. If you want to revive national pride in this country, vote Trump. If you want to stay out of World War III in this country, vote Trump. If you want to make America great again, vote Trump. I'm going to give you one more reason to vote Trump, and it's this. It's the one the media in the back, they won't talk about this. But they know it to be true. Donald Trump is actually the president who will unite this country, actually. And we don't talk about that enough. America First includes all Americans, regardless of their race, their gender, or their sexual orientation. Our message to Black Americans tonight is this. We want you, what we want for every American. Safe neighborhoods, good jobs, clean streets. A country where you are judged based on the content of your character, not the color of your skin or your political beliefs. That's the America we know. Our message to gay Americans tonight is this. You're free to marry who you want, if you want, without the government standing in your way. But that doesn't mean that boys get to compete with girls in girls' sports, or you do genital mutilation and chemical castration on our children. Our message to every legal immigrant in this country is this. You're like my parents.
Fuck you, chat.
But our message to every illegal immigrant, if you came legally, you get the same American dream that everybody else does. Work hard, get ahead, make contributions to this country, love the nation, and that's our message to legal immigrants. But our message to every illegal immigrant is also this. We will return you to your country of origin. Not because you're all bad people, but because you broke the law. And the United States of America is founded on the rule of law. Our message to my generation, the millennials, is this. You were sold a false bill of goods. You were told you become a gender studies major in California. Somehow that gets you a head start on the American dream when it hasn't worked out that way. Dead on your shoulders. The Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Yes, it's true you were lied to. But we can't just be cynical about our country because this is still the last best hope that we have in the free world. And our message to Gen Z is this. You're going to be the generation that saves the country. You want to be a rebel? 18 years old, stand up on your college campus and call yourself a conservative. Be proud of it. Say you want to get married, have kids, raise a family, and have a good job. That's how we win in America. We don't have to be this nation in decline. We are still on our way up. We're still that country where we will look our children in the eye and mean it when we tell them, you get ahead in the United States with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication, and that you know what? You are free to speak your mind at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what we are running to. And that is what we get when we send Donald Trump back to the White House this November. Thank you. God bless you and the great state of New York. And may God bless our United States of America. Thank you. God bless. Thank you, guys.
Vivek on point. As always, Vivek is a phenomenal public speaker. He knows how to get the energy level up. The guy is fantastic at that. So shout out to Vivek. We have a ton of big time speakers here rolling in to Madison Square Garden. Tucker Carlson, who I heard a speech from Tucker Carlson the other day in Georgia, and it's one of the best speeches I've ever heard somebody give. Tucker Carlson is incredible. He really is. Like, I don't think Tucker Carlson gets enough credit for how absolutely fantastic he is as a speaker. He's great. That Tulsi? Yep. Tulsi Gabbard. All right, I got to mute for a minute. Don't want to get hit with the music copyright. This is the new Republican, Tulsi Gabbard.
Hello, New York. Join me as I say these words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As we gather here today on this historic occasion, we stand together as proud Americans in understanding that these very rights are under attack. So we face this historic crossroads where our freedom and our future is in our hands. There's never been a more clear choice in any election in my life, and our ability to live in a truly peaceful and free and prosperous country is on the line. I love you too. And it is that love that brings us together here today, that love for freedom, that love for our country and love for each other as fellow Americans, as children of God, that compels us to take action to save our country and defend our freedom. Now, this choice that we have before us is very personal to me. I'm a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve. I've served now for over 21 years. I've deployed to different war zones 3 times over that period, and I've seen the cost of war. For my brothers and sisters who paid the ultimate price, I carry their memories and their sacrifice in my heart every day. So this choice that we have before us as Americans is critical. It's important to us. It's important to those of us who serve, who have volunteered to put our lives on the line for the safety, security, and freedom of our country and our people, and it's critical to all of us. Here is the choice that we have. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Dick Cheney, and it's a vote for war, more war, likely World War III and nuclear war.
That's actually a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it.
A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a man who wants to end wars, not start them, and who has demonstrated already that he has the courage and strength to stand up and fight for peace.
Thank you, Jason, for
A
the
vote
50.
for Kamala Harris is a vote for open borders, where known violent criminals and Islamist terrorists are streaming across our borders, placing us at risk. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for secure borders and safe communities, and a confidence that he will seek out those who seek to do us harm and get them out.
I agree with what Jason's saying. If you're in a deep blue state,
A vote for
still
Kamala
vote
Harris
for
is a
Trump.
vote for economic hardship, high cost of living, poverty, and homelessness. And a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for economic prosperity and opportunity for every single one of us as Americans. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for censorship and a complete erosion of our fundamental and constitutional rights and freedoms. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for someone who will defend freedom and every one of our God-given rights that are enshrined in the Constitution and Bill of Rights. So the choice is ours. History will look back on us at this moment for the choice that we make. Did we choose war or peace? Did we choose poverty or prosperity? Did we choose censorship or freedom? Our freedom and our
Thank you for the
future
20,
is
Nicholas.
in our hands. We have just a few days left to complete this no-fail mission that we have before us to save our country. Nothing short of our future is on the line. So now, just as we've gathered here today in this historic place and this historic time, we will gather together all across this country, people of every race, ethnicity, religion, and creed, to stand together and defend our freedom and ensure our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now is the time for us to send Donald Trump back to the White House to be the 47th President of the United States, where we can stand together and make America great again. Thank you so much. Let's get it done. Aloha.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about Tulsi. She's kind of boring when she talks. That's just the reality of it. She's not a great public speaker. But I mean, she is a Democrat. So I know she's a Republican now, but she's a Democrat. Is she hot? Yeah. Does that matter? Not really.
Cannot qualify for military service because of chronic disease diagnoses. This is existential for our country. President Trump called me 3 hours after his shooting. He said, would I come and sit down with them? And he said to me during that meeting, he said, there are some things that we can agree on and some we disagree on, but the landscapes on which we agree are so much larger. He said, I want to end the wars. I want to end this surveillance and censorship. I want to protect the Constitution. I want to protect freedom of speech. I want to end the surveillance. I want to end the weaponization of government against American politicians. And I want to end the chronic disease epidemic. Now, don't you think that we deserve a president in this country who's going to restore the moral authority of the United States of America? Don't you think that we deserve a president who's going to end the warfare state and rebuild the middle class? Oh, you want a president who's going to put America first? And don't you want a president who's going to protect our children? And who's going to protect women's sports? And who's going to stop dividing this country along racial lines? And don't you want a president?
Each other. We'll make fun of each other all day long. It ain't that serious.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Tucker Carlson.
Yeah. This is going to be fire right here. This is going to be fire. Let's go, Tucker freaking Carlson.
Thank you. I saw the Grateful Dead in this arena in 1987. I was seated right there. How weird. It's such an honor to be here, and it's wild. Just another day following Bobby Kennedy Jr. at a Donald Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. Wait, what? At a Donald Trump rally in Madison Square Garden. Wait, what? That's totally normal. Liz Cheney's out there with Kamala Harris. And there's Bobby Kennedy calling to protect women's sports at a Trump rally. It's a realignment. It's unbelievable. And the fact that it's here is even sweeter. Imagine if you're, and just pause for one moment. Imagine you're Donald Trump. You're from New York City. You become famous in New York City. You make your fortune in New York City. And all of a sudden, the leadership of New York City decides they're going to destroy you because they don't like your politics. And so yeah, boo. Imagine if that were you, though. And they try and take everything that you have. They try and put you in prison. They try and put your children in prison. If that happened to you, how often do you think you'd be going back to New York City? How about never? And yet he's here. It's like getting thrown out of a bar. And you think to yourself, well, you know, all my friends are in the bar. And you approach the door and there's the bouncer like, you're not allowed in here. But from behind the bouncer, you hear the cheers of your friend, come on in! And the bouncer hangs his head in shame. He's embarrassed that he's working for the man trying to keep the most popular person out of the bar. And that's Donald Trump back in the city that produced him with no embarrassment at all, in a room full of his friends. The stones that takes, the bravery that takes is incredible. Donald Trump's going to win for them, and that's Donald. For the purpose of those useless people in the United States. They have no skills whatsoever. They've got 3/4 of the money, and they didn't earn it. They set up a system precisely for the purpose of awarding themselves wealth and power when it's undeserved. You look at Liz Cheney and you ask yourself honestly, what skill could she possibly have that allowed her to send hundreds of thousands of people to their deaths, Did she earn that? I don't think she did. No fair system would make Liz Cheney powerful. No fair system would make Larry Fink rich. No fair system would elevate someone like Kamala Harris to a presidential nomination. She's never been accused of doing anything useful. She has precisely no achievements. She's a nominee without getting a single vote. She is a metaphor for the system they created to make themselves rich and powerful. And then they have the gall to lecture you, the people who can actually change a flat tire and repair a power grid, who have useful jobs, who pay your taxes and work 40 hours a week, lecture you that you are somehow immoral. And Donald Trump has empowered the rest of us through mostly just sticking around in the face of their hate and abuse and persecution. He has given the rest of us the right to call BS on the charade. No, you are not better than us. No, you are not smarter than us. No, you do not deserve what you have. You probably stole it. No, you're not going to bully me into silence anymore. And I can promise you at this point, 9 days out, when Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard and pretty much every high school senior and college shorty girl in the country has come out finally say, yeah, I am for Donald Trump, actually. When the entire country has realized there is nothing embarrassing about this, what's embarrassing is to take a perfectly great country and destroy it, as they have. I'm not ashamed. You should be. At that moment, it's going to be pretty tough for them 10 days from now to look in the eye to America with a straight face. It's going to be pretty hard to look at us and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ, former California prosecutor ever to be elected president, it was just a groundswell of popular support. And anyone who thinks otherwise is just a freak or a criminal. At this stage of the game, after 9 years of listening to their lies and finding every single one of them totally false, no, it's not safe and effective, and no, she's not impressive. It's very hard for me to believe the rest of us are going to say, you know what, Joe Scarborough, you're right. You're right. She won fair and square because she's just so impressive. I don't think so. And to me, that is liberation. It's the freedom to say what's obviously true as a free man and not a slave. And I just want to say thank you, Donald Trump, for that.
Mic drop. Tucker is awesome. Tucker is the man. Just straightforward to the point, no effing around. Hell yeah. Love Tucker Carlson. So there we go. All right, let's see who's next.
Well, let me tell you something, Trump-a-maniacs. Welcome to the house that Hulkamania built.
Yes.
You know something? Usually when I'm in Madison Square Garden, I'm body slamming giants. I'm winning world heavyweight titles, and I'm cracking people over the heads with steel chairs. And the energy in Madison Square Garden is off the Richter scale. But today, Trump-a-maniacs, the energy in here is something like I've never felt. The energy of all these Trump-a-maniacs is the most powerful force in the universe. And today, this is Donald Trump's house, brother.
Hey, brother.
You know something, Trump maniacs? I don't see no stinking Nazis in here. I don't see no stinking domestic terrorists in here. The only thing I see in here are a bunch of hard-working men and women that are real Americans, brother. You know, when I hear my president and our president Donald Trump speak, he sounds for real, brother. He sounds like he has a heart of gold that's all for the USA. But when I hear Kamala speak, it sounds like a script from Hollywood with a really, really bad actress.
Oh, snap.
You know, Kamala is responsible for the border crisis. And Kamala is also responsible for inflation. And then you know something? She acts like she's the victim. And then all of a sudden, she flips, she flops, she spins and turns it around and acts like she's gonna be the damn hero. But we all know Trump is the only man that can fix this country today. And with Trump as our commander-in-chief, peace through strength will fix all the problems in the Middle East. You know, I've been coming to this building month after.
That's the way to say it right there. Peace through strength will fix all the problems in the Middle East. Leave it at that. That's it. That's the way you say it right there.
After month after month. And I've seen sold-out crowds over and over again for over 40 years. And for 40 years, I've always asked the question, what you gonna do? Over and over and over again, what you gonna do? Well, today, after feeling the energy in this building, I finally got the answer. And the answer is, vote for Trump.
Because you know what happens? We're not going.
We had peace. We had prosperity. Take-home pay was rising the fastest that it had in 40 years.
This is true, yo pops.
Inflation was at 1.5%, the lowest that it had been in a generation. Gas and groceries were affordable. And when Donald Trump was president, we had the most secure border in the history of this country. That's the Donald Trump record, and that's a record that's going to win in just 9 short days. Now, I'm going to maybe surprise a little bit of the folks in this arena because I'm going to be a little bipartisan here. I'm going to talk about Governor Tim Walz, and I got to be honest with you, I feel bad for him. No.
What's Savvy saying? Is Savvy in the chat?
We ought to spare a prayer for Governor Tim Walz because he's got the hardest job in American politics. He's got to convince the
Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim.
What's up, man? You all can say that. I probably shouldn't say that. But think about our friend Tim Walz has got to convince the American people that Kamala Harris is going to somehow fix the very problems she's been creating over the last 3.5 years. He's got to pretend that Kamala Harris didn't open up the southern border and let millions of illegal aliens in, even though we know she did. He's got to pretend that Kamala Harris didn't cast the deciding vote on trillions of dollars of new spending, which created the worst affordability crisis in 40 years in this country. And he's got to pretend that Kamala Harris actually has ideas in her head for how to govern the United States of America. Now, if you are the praying type, and I imagine a lot of us are, please say a prayer for Tim Walz because they're asking him to do the impossible. Kamala Harris acts like she's the candidate of change when she's been in office for 4 years. She says she can fix everything, but Kamala Day one was 1,400 days ago. What the hell have you been doing that whole time? Now, my favorite Kamala Harris moment is that when somebody asks her for specifics on how she'll make life more affordable or groceries cheaper, she'll say, well, I grew up in a middle-class family. You say, Kamala Harris, how are you going to close down the southern border? Because for 4 years, you've left it wide open. And she'll say, well, I made the hash browns when I worked at McDonald's, and I was pretty good at it. And anybody with a lick of common sense is saying, Kamala Harris, you didn't answer the question. You didn't actually tell the American people how you're going to fix what you broke. And I got to be honest with you, even on that McDonald's answer, I'm not sure that she ever worked at McDonald's. In fact, I think our president, Donald J. Trump, has probably worked at McDonald's for longer than Kamala Harris has. Now, I will say, I'm going to say one thing in Kamala Harris's defense. She does one thing very well. Look at this. You guys, you weren't expecting me to be so bipartisan, but I will say this for Kamala, that every time she does an interview, I think Donald Trump picks up about 100,000 votes.
That is true.
Now, we're, of course, in one of the proud baseball cities in the United States of America. So you know the problem with a softball interview is that you've got to be able to hit a softball still. And that's the problem with Kamala Harris, is I don't think that she could hit a T-ball based on what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. When she was asked what she would do differently compared to Joe Biden, she said, nothing comes to mind. She's running on how she's going to be different, but she couldn't name a single thing that she would do differently than Joe Biden. Now, I will say that could be the Kamala Harris official campaign slogan. Kamala Harris, nothing comes to mind. Now, the other day, CNN asked if she had made any mistakes as vice president. Now, here's what she actually said, and I am quoting word for word. She said, in my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well-versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well-versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question. Now, I have no idea what any of that means, and frankly, neither do any of you. None of us know what the hell she says. Now, she may not be able to name any of her mistakes, but the American people sure can. And 9 days from now, we're going to tell Kamala Harris, you're fired. Go back to San Francisco where you belong. Get the hell out of the White House. Now, together, Donald J. Trump and all of us as part of this movement are going to unleash a golden age of American prosperity. We're going to make life affordable again in the United States of America. We're going to put the American dream of homeownership within reach for millions of American young people. We're going to secure our border, and we're going to keep our families safe. We're going to protect your right to free speech and religious liberty. And we're going to do it all thanks to the leadership of one man. Now, we have to remember, that one man, Donald J. Trump, 8 years ago, go back 8 years, he had everything. He had fame, he had fortune, he had family, he had friends. But he gave up the easy life to save the United States of America. When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him. When that didn't work, they tried to impeach him. When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison. And when that didn't work, they even tried to kill him. But as sure as the American flag still waves, Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
All right, so there's JD Vance. We're getting close to probably Elon and Trump and Dana White very soon. I do see that the media has taken clips from where Kill Tony came out there and basically did his stand-up routine and told offensive jokes. And the media is trying to run with that and create a narrative about this event because this is all they have. Fuck the media. Okay, fuck the media.
Let the rest of the world
Keep crying about offensive jokes. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody cares that you're a fake offended over some damn jokes. Nobody cares. Yes, Tony was there earlier. It's so unbelievable how they think this shit's gonna work. All right. Who's up next?
Please welcome Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization, Eric Trump, and co-chair of the Republican National Committee, Laura Trump.
I obviously, love the Trump family. And I like Eric Trump a lot. I think Eric Trump is kind of boring when he talks, but he's very smart guy. And I think that Eric Trump is going to be a major player moving forward for sure, but he's kind of boring. Laura Trump's awesome. She's obviously involved with the RNC. She's doing a great job. So we'll hear what they have to say. But Eric Trump is a little boring. That is true. Eric Trump was on Patrick Bet David recently, and he was extremely good. Eric Trump is smart as hell. He's very smart. Let's see. TrumpCon. That's pretty much what.
Trump, an entire party who has failed at taking down his family. They're sitting there on those cameras right now, watching all of us, watching all of you. Almost 200,000 people tried to get into this event tonight. The streets, Fifth Avenue, all the way from Trump Tower, all the way down to Madison Square Garden, 10 people deep. That's how much love there is in the greatest city anywhere in the world. Guys, in 9 days, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. And not only is he going to make America great again, he's going to make New York City great again. So on behalf of our entire family, thank you. Thank you for being on the greatest ride I could have ever possibly been a part of. Thank you for 10 incredible years. I want you to know, and I speak on behalf of my entire family, I want you to know that we will never stop fighting. My father will never stop fighting. Laura will never stop fighting. I'll never stop fighting. We live in the greatest country in the world. We are not gonna allow that to slip away. And I promise you guys the best days of this nation are ahead of us. I love you very much. New York, it's an honor to be here.
All right, y'all aren't done with us just yet. I'll say a few things if that's okay with everybody here. Can I just say how honored I am to be the co-chair of the Republican National Committee for you guys? I'll tell you something, we're making sure that we have free, fair, and transparent elections and nobody's cheating in 2024. We are 9 days away from making sure we send a loud and clear message to the mainstream media, to the establishment, to the Democrats, to Hollywood, that it is not them. It is we, the people, who choose our president, and we're choosing Donald J. Trump. And I got to tell you, it is incredible to be here in Madison Square Garden, in New York City, the greatest city on earth, in the greatest country on earth, the United States of America. Because if you think about it, New York City made Donald Trump, right? But Donald Trump also made New York City. He changed the skyline of this city, rebuilt it. Remember whenever they couldn't get an ice skating rink, Woolman Rink in Central Park? Donald Trump rebuilt the ice skating rink for New York City. By the way, under budget and ahead of schedule, if I'm not mistaken, because that's how we like to do things in the Trump family. And when nobody else was doing it, Donald Trump put his heart and soul right here in New York City. It's true, and this is the city that made him a household name. This is the city that put Donald Trump in so many rap songs, by the way.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And truly made him the American dream. But I'll tell you something. Being a New Yorker teaches you something else, doesn't it? It teaches you how to be tough. It teaches you that it doesn't matter how hard you get hit. You get back up and you keep fighting. When they impeach you, you keep fighting. When they indict you, you keep fighting. When they take a mugshot of you, the greatest mugshot in the history of the world, you keep fighting. You keep fighting. And when an assassin's bullet strikes you, you don't lay down. You get up, you stand strong, and you keep fighting, right? Now, in case you guys don't know, Donald Trump likes to go places nobody expects him. Anybody hear about a little rally up the street in the Bronx? Yeah. Does anybody know the last time a Republican president campaigned in the Bronx? It was Ronald Reagan, and ladies and gentlemen, he turned New York red. I'm just saying. It is the honor of my life to be part of this movement. And Eric is right. This is not just about politics. We are all a big family, and we're a family who loves this country. And I can tell you something, 9 days from now, it is going to be the sweetest comeback, because we know the art of the deal. We also know the art of the comeback from Donald Trump that this country has ever seen. Everybody get out, vote early, take a friend to vote. Let's make America great again. We love you, New York.
All right, so we've got mainstream media just is on full panic mode right now all over this rally. So MAGA speakers unleash racist, sexist rhetoric at Trump big rally. They're just freaking out. I responded and I'm like, nobody gives a fuck about this. You are a retard. No one cares. So the panic is out there right now. This is an amazing rally. This is essentially the RNC 2.0. Donald Trump is getting ready to walk out here. Elon Musk is there. Dana White is there. You've had Hulk Hogan. You've had Dr. Phil. You've had Tucker Carlson. You've had Alina Habba. And I don't know if you guys saw Alina Habba, but I'll show it earlier. And holy shit. Damn. Alina Habba. I respect her. Okay? I respect Alina Habba.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Donald Trump Jr.
Junior in the house. Let's see here. No, we missed it because you were late, Fig. I'll show it. Here we go. All right, get hyped, everybody. Like the video, share the video, get ready.
Wow. Hello, Madison Square Garden! Are you guys ready to take your country back? Are you sick of the insanity? Guys, this is not my first rodeo. It's the third go around, but you think this could have ever happened 4 or 8 years ago in the heart of New York City? The King of New York is back to reclaim the city that he built. My father changed the skyline of this city. He fixed the things that incompetent bureaucrats couldn't handle. He did that against all odds. He did it for our country too, and now everyone recognizes it. What's unique about this election, folks, you've had 4 years under both leaders. The media would like to pretend that Kamala Harris started her political career about a month ago in a coup, the most democratic process to ever not have a single vote. She's going to be a moderate, folks. She's going to be a moderate. A radical San Francisco liberal, the daughter of a Marxist professor, is now magically going to be a moderate. No one's buying it anymore. You know why? Because they've been lying to you for the last 9 years, and you're not buying their crap anymore. You've had enough. The fact that I could drive here today with my father for like 25 blocks and watch the streets of New York lined up with red MAGA hats tells us everything you need to know. You had 4 years under Donald Trump, and despite the most vicious opposition from the media, from big tech, from the Democrats, and even from the weakling Republicans, you got results. We got peace deals done. Our enemies weren't invading their neighbors. The economy grew. Inflation was next to nothing. And then Kamala Harris and Joe Biden took over, and everything went to hell like that.
Thank goodness he didn't bring up
Watching
COVID.
it in the news, it's amazing. Kamala Harris is going to fix all these things. I say, you know what? Why hasn't she started fixing them? You know, you've had 4 years. Why didn't you maybe get going? You're going to wait till January 20th? Americans are suffering. People can't make rent. Businesses are going under. Grocery prices are too expensive. I tell a story. Last summer, I was coming back from a fishing trip with 2 of my boys, and we went to McDonald's. And it was $48 for a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old, and me. And guys, let me tell you, if Donald Trump Jr. has sticker shock at McDonald's, we have a serious problem. It does not have to be this way, guys. We can change it, but it's going to take all of you. You know, these days, you know, everyone's a tough guy. Everyone's a tough guy on the keyboard, on the internet. You know, everyone's a badass. But when you get shot in the face and you come back defiant, ready to fight, that's a badass. That's the guy. That's the guy that can fix the problems that we have. That's the guy that's going to keep our enemies in check. That's a guy that's going to fight for each and every one of you. He's done it once. Let's send him back to Washington, D.C. with an overwhelming mandate to fix the nonsense once and for all. Guys, look at the people who have spoken here tonight, and look at some of the people who are still coming. When did you think you'd be able to get RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, people from all different walks of life, incredible skill sets, whether it be health, whether it be technology, everything. You have them on one unified ticket. Think about that. Compare that to Kamala Harris and Tampon Tim. It ain't the same, folks. Timmy ain't fixing anything, and neither is Kamala. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change Washington, to put in common sense practices, to put Americans first, because they're not first right now. The Democrat Party has forgotten about Americans. Rather than cater to Americans, they decided, you know what? It would just be easier to replace them with people who will be reliable voters. The insanity has to stop, and the fact that we can pack Madison Square Garden in the heart of New York City shows me that the spirit of the American people is there. That same spirit my father showed on July 13th, that's the spirit of America. That's the spirit we need going into Election Day. So for the next 9 days, each and every one of you, you line up like you're the third monkey on line for the ark and it's starting to rain. You vote early, and then you bring your friends so that we can take back our country once and for all. And when we do that, guys, we're not just going to make America great again. We're going to make the world great. We're going to make the world safe. We're going to fix it all. Get out there, guys. And just like you're going to fight, get out there and vote, vote, vote. Thank you, New York City. Love you guys.
All right. So we got Don Jr. I don't know. Maybe Dana White.
He's proven he loves this country so much, he's literally put his life on the line for it. What has the other candidate proven? She can get your party's nomination without even facing voters. What else? What else can she offer the American people other than vague promises and no plan? She talks a lot about the need for change and her hope for the future. Hope and change. Does that sound familiar? She can use the old Obama playbook, but she's not Obama, and she is no agent of change.